Allison, you went to Rio de Janeiro for World Youth Day, right?
I did. I got to travel with the Boston Deaf Apostolate, and it was an amazing experience.
Was it awesome?
It was amazing. When I signed up, though, I only signed up to hang out with 1.5 million of my favorite Catholic people, but we had a German pope at that point. And then when I showed up and we had a South American pope, and there was 3.5 of my closest Catholic friends,
Don't sell yourself
was
short.
not what I signed up for.
No, it was you. It was you they decided to. But you have another pilgrimage in March. Tell me about the pilgrimage in March.
Yes, I'm teaming up with Select International Tours, and we're going from Fatima to Avila in March. And we just signed a new one. Actually, I'm very excited about this one. Not that I'm not excited about going to Fatima, but we're going to Poland in August, calling it the Faith, Hope, and Love Tour. And we're going to go to Maximilian Kolbe, St. Faustina, and of course, then who will be St. John Paul II. The Faith, Hope, and Love Tour. It's going to be very exciting.
Wow. I know you do a lot of different talks too. Maybe you could talk about that, some of the different things that you go out to parishes and things like that and talk about in your ministry.
Yeah, I do. It's primarily women's ministry. I speak to men too, but my husband says that my perchance for shoe analogies kind of limits me to a feminine audience. He just doesn't get it. He says if I want to speak more to men, I probably should throw in some tool analogies, but yeah, not for me. I speak a lot about forgiveness and trust. You know, once you forgive, then you need to rebuild up your trust. So I do retreats for that, you know, really trying to bring people back reconciled to God through forgiving themselves, other people, even our anger with God. You know, a lot of people have trouble when things happen in their life, they kind of blame God for it, and then they have to kind of reconcile back to Him, and through the sacraments especially.
Well, first of all, if you need any tips on analogies, the guy right here.
I think you have fantastic analogies.
Thank you,
You
Allison.
totally got the whole Red Sox thing.
I think you need to have an audience that actually will get things that you're going to be analogizing.
I knew somehow it was going to come back on me, but that's okay. But let's talk about, for instance, you just talk about people, something bad happens and they blame God, which I get it. I get it. You know, you're hurt, you're angry, it could be something that just is devastating to you. How do you get past that? How do you get to the next step of getting the relationship back with God?
The most important thing is having them realize who God truly is. You know, looking at scriptures, looking what God has to say about Himself to us, how loving He is, how faithful He is, and how merciful He is, and that everything that He allows into our lives is out of great love for us. And that He's not the bringer of these bad things, that's part of our fallen nature. But He allows it, and each thing He allows is for our sanctification, it's for our own good, even if we don't see it that way. Everything is to bring us to heaven with Him.
Mm-hmm. How did you get so involved in doing this with your faith? What was the catalyst for this all happening?
I really think it was just this call in my heart from the Lord, you know, going to adoration and feeling this need to like really bring the love that I was receiving and this message that I was getting in adoration of how amazing God is. And I would, you know, read things and look at things and go, how come we don't know how awesome God is? How come no one's telling me these things? And I kind of sat there and prayed, and God said, well, if no one's saying it, why don't you say it? I said, oh, well, then you're going to have to do some like amazing things that you do, Lord, because I am just me. And He's working wonderful.
Now, you have the Words with series, you have the your talks. Where can people find out more about all the things that you're doing?
My loaded website is reconciledtoyou.com. And on there, you'll find everything. The Words with Series app was supposed to launch today, but in God's infinite wisdom, will take a few more days. But it's going to be very just a really wonderful tool for people, a very short time to really enter into the scriptures and prayer.
You know, you talk about God, He, you know, well, use me as a tool, God. What do you think are so many advantages we have today with the internet, the apps, all of these things?
The biggest advantage is any person can be an evangelist. You can sit in your own home, you know, especially if you're afraid to speak out, if it's very, you know, uncomfortable for you to be somebody who says, hey, you know what, our faith offers this. You can sit in your computer and you can find great things that the Pope is, I love retweeting the Pope's tweets. They're like, they're phenomenal stuff. And you can share your faith in a very, very safe way, but powerful way. Each one of us is, if we were on Facebook, each one of us has a lapsed Catholic as a friend, at least one. Yeah. And when we share something that really shares what the true faith is about, what Catholicism really teaches, we're evangelizing, and we haven't even left our living rooms or taken off our fuzzy slippers, at least in my case.
Hey, Jay's case, too.
You know what? You beat me to it. That's not well, Allison. Oh, whoa! You guys just having a kick out of that one, aren't you? This has been a blast. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
joining
having
us
me.
today. We'll have you back on again.
Please visit reconciletoo.com.
Oh, look at you.
I'm a pro now.